Mo and V are with me now. Welcome back to the show, gentlemen. V, another close game in terms of scoreline, but you go top of the league. Talk to me about City, bro.
Yeah, I mean, the result we wanted, but not quite the performance that we were looking for. Everybody pretty much slaps these guys up, and we sneak out of there with a 1-0. So I'm going to take it and run because it is about the 3 points. It is about getting results without some key guys missing. I heard you with regards to goal scoring. I mean, I don't think you'll hear any City fan that would disagree and say we don't need others to step up and contribute on the scoring end, because Haaland is phenomenal as he is, giving us, I think, 27 last year, and obviously setting the record the season before. We can't necessarily rely on it, but we do need other players to step up and give us maybe double-digit goal contributions in the likes of Foden, Savinho, Doku, Grealish. I don't think we can really expect that, but they need to give us 5, give us 6, maybe 7, and also be there on the assist side. So yeah, you're 100% right where scoring needs to improve. What I did like to see was just control. Yeah, everybody's going to get a chance. This is the thing, rivals. Everyone's going to get a chance versus City or any opponent. You're not going to keep them away from having opportunities. It's about how many do they have and how dangerous are they. So I was really calm with the result. Obviously, late. Could they do something to mess up the weekend? They didn't. And Holland, when I was on a few shows, Igal in particular wanted to say, do I want to talk about the goal drought, his scoring drought? Never a concern, because Holland's relentless with his movement. He's relentless with what he has to do. And this is where, Terry, this is where I agree. Haaland is relentless. He continues to move. Now, when they try to take him out of the game, someone else has got to step up. Someone else has got to score when he pulls defenders out of space, or when a shot is made, or a far post. Someone else needs to step up. And Savinho, give him some more time. He'll be all right. Savinho's going to be all right. Doku injured, unfortunately. I think Doku's going to cook. I think Doku is going to cook because he's too threatening. He's too threatening to be kept out of there. Last but not least, Ederson deserves some praise, guys. He deserves some praise. He's often talked down because he's not Alisson Becker. He's not the classic stopper, but he's a complete footballer. That's why he's so important to us. I pray he doesn't leave this summer, because I think he's been so vital. It's the reason why Pep went and got him and why we were able to do what we did. So Ederson stepped up big, kept the clean sheet, and we move. We see what happens tomorrow. All eyes on tomorrow.
Yeah, you've got your victory. Why is Igal talking about Haaland droughts? And I'll tell you as to why. This is Haaland's goal scoring record so far this season. I mean, at what point was it a drought? What, the 2 games? Like the 2 or 3 games? Like, there's been no more than 2 games for club or country where he hasn't scored. You can't. What goal drought, Igal? Igal, what goal drought?
Terry, I'll tell you why.
It's the hope, bro. It's the hope that kills you, bro. I swear to God, bro. Some of the people that talk about the football, you watch this Manchester City team and you see Haaland scoring. Like, by the way, the goal he scored today, people think it's an easy thing. It is very hard to adjust your body, be in that place, and get that contact with the ball. It is very hard to score. Not a lot of strikers will do that. The athleticism, of course, the flexibility, the muscles to move, to score. Bro, it is ridiculous. And people, to be honest with you, this Premier League has turned into just hope. Because last season, City were 2 points behind this. This season, Man City might not look good, but they're freaking picking up the wins. And I echo what everyone said. The opportunities the opposition gets, Man City actually corner them. They're not that dangerous sometimes. Some good opportunities here and there. But you're in no time in this game, you had any doubt that even if Southampton score, okay, Man City will get another goal. Man City will win. And that is in their not good time, you know what I mean? That's not Man City's good time. Right, you know that January, February, Pep Guardiola is going to find a formula when they're going to win like 50,000 games in a row. You know that is going to happen. People have to take their opportunities. Russell Martin today for Southampton takes massive positive for the way they play. And to be honest with you guys, other teams have to learn how to play against City. This is how you play against City without Rodri. They don't have Rodri this season. Play from the back. Southampton cut through the Man City's midfield a couple of times. Teams have to have the balls and have to have the guts to be able to go at the Etihad, and Southampton plays from the back, right? Some other teams should do this. The next 3 games are crucial, but also at the same time, you know that Man City are favorites in every single game with them. If Man City goes through the next 3 games with winners or even 7 points only, they'll take it and run, and they'll say, we are absolutely in to win the league. Other teams have to step up. The likes of Arsenal, Liverpool have been absolutely amazing this season. Keep it up. Arsenal need to bounce back, need to be good because there is no other team in the league. They'll be able to win against City. This notion that we only need to get 90 points, bro, give it up. Not 90 points. 90 plus points at least. 21 points. And City are getting wins, bro.
Because City are getting wins when not playing well. And we all know at some point they're going to start playing well again. There's a comment here, though, from Mustafa. And this frustrates me. Not because I'm the sort of the arbitrator of opinions about the Premier League or a defender of it. But when it says welcome to the Farmers League, people, sorry, not an Arsenal fans, Man United fans, sorry. When you say that, do you know what annoys me about when people say that? Is City are top, yes, on 23 points, and they are the best team in the Premier League. But we're also looking at a team who over the last 5 to 6 years have become European greats. This City team will be remembered in European football in 100 years' time. They're one of the greatest English sides of all time that fit into a very small category that only Man United and Liverpool have competitors for, genuinely. That's you're talking, there's been 3 clubs that have had a team at this sort of level ever in 130, 140 years of English football. But at the same time, as people say it's a Farmers League, we've got Liverpool on 21 points that could go back top tomorrow with a win. Villa, in all fairness, look, they conceded right at the death, but Villa in 3rd place. You've got Arsenal in 4th, Brighton. Again, they should actually have 2 more points. They collapsed right at the end today, but they're 5th. We've got Nottingham Forest of all clubs, who are giant historically, only been back in the Prem a couple of years. And people keep talking. Do you know what I like about this? People keep talking about, well, when teams get promoted, none of them can stay up. Well, Brighton now, I think, are the Brighton and Brentford. By the way, Brentford very good today in 9th. Have the longest runs ever for newly promoted teams who have never gone back down again. You've got Nottingham Forest that were only promoted 2 years ago that are now up there. You've got all these other teams doing really, really well, and there's still loads of matches to be played this weekend. This isn't a Farmers League. I am so sick and tired of the redefinition of a Farmers League. The Farmers League is you have City this good and everybody else is poor.
Yeah.
To a point where most of the time in Europe, those teams will get battered. Those teams, you literally, when the drop-off is, if our second place team was the level of Fulham, then fair enough. You could say it's a Farmers League. Look at the start to the European campaign this year. The top 3 teams from the Premier League. Arsenal, I think, are 9th in that. Man United have been awful. We've been the only awful English team in all Europe's competitions. But the English teams not only are unbeaten in the Champions League, I think we've conceded 1 goal. 4 teams have conceded 1 goal between them. Something along those lines.
But there is the reason why it's called. There is the reason why for it, because of the no hope thing against Manchester City.
That's
redefining Farmers League. It's redefining.
But we're not going to. Language matters, and we're not redefining. Farmers League never meant you've got one team that dominates it. It was never called a Farmers League in the 70s and 80s when Liverpool dominated it. It was never called a Farmers League in the 90s. Where, by the way, people talk about how many Premier Leagues City have won in the last 8-9 years. Look at the first 9 years of the Premier League. Fergie won the same amount. No one called it a Farmers League.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not a Farmers League because you have one team that is just better than everybody else over an 8-year period, right? It's a Farmers League when you've got 1, maybe 2 really good teams, and then the drop-off in quality after that is cannon fodder, okay? We are not a Farmers League. And do you know why? I'll fight that. And if you're someone that prefers La Liga, or you're a Barca fan, or you're a Real Madrid fan, fine, I don't care. It's people that support the Premier League teams. You are diminishing anything your club then goes on to fucking achieve because you're saying it's a Farmers League. It's shit. It means nothing. Think about what your banter is. You hurt your own club. It's mad to me, bruv. It's mad to me. It's no Farmers League. It ain't what it means, and we're not fucking redefining it just for people that want to play down City's success. Do you know what I'm saying? Because imagine you start to surpass the success of City's. Well, if you start to beat it, well, you can't think, oh, we beat their 4-peat record. Well, you can't celebrate if you say it was in a shit league. Think about what you're doing in the long term, bruv, and drop this stupid banter bollocks. It's crap. Anyway, back to you guys. Sorry.
You know what? I want to say something when Mo was speaking. Mo was talking about just the performance that we saw from an opposition coming to Manchester City and playing. And I would have to say that they didn't park and play overly defensive. They actually played and tried to take their shots. And when Mo's saying, you know what, other clubs need to do that because City can get at. You can get at City, especially without Rodri. And even prior to Rodri, I think the way we commit so many players forward, if you're organized, if you're smart, you can definitely get us on the counter. And not that there were many opportunities, but I thought we handled the attempts, some of those counter attempts well against us. Also, we're not looking that good and we're getting results, which is boding really well for the attempt at going after 5. But I don't know if it just remains being City, Liverpool, and I think it might just be City and Liverpool. This game that we're about to see on Sunday, Arsenal can't afford to lose it.
By the Chelsea game, we'll know. By the Chelsea game, we'll know. Next 3 games for Arsenal: Newcastle away, Chelsea away, Liverpool at home. These 3 games will let us know. I know it's too early. People are going to say too early. But if City keeps winning like this, unless you fall off and lose like 2 games in the next 3 games, you might be 10 points ahead. And I think that's too much to catch, like, to be honest. It's nothing is impossible in football, but the percentage go way down. I don't think in the history of Pep Guardiola, he has let go of like 10 and lost.
I think Pep Guardiola.
Caught up,
I think Pep Guardiola is the difference. I think Pep Guardiola is the difference in all of this. I think that City do have the experience of winning in the team. If Pep left today for whatever reason, and even if you went and got Alonso or Inzaghi, I think it would level things out a little bit more. Where even with a 2 or 3 point lead, with all these chasing teams, I don't think you could make City the favourites, but you wouldn't be as convinced they would do it. I just think, again, it's one of those things. I think, there's a reason why that great Liverpool team I mentioned, they had Paisley. That great Man United team had Fergie. It's just that it's almost that perfect storm at the same time, which is why I don't think the league is, as you say, a farmers league, because if Pep leaves, if Pep wasn't here in the last 8 years, City don't achieve what they achieve. If you had any other manager in world football, barring Pep, I do not believe you achieve. You'd won a lot of the leagues.
Yeah.
I think you might want. I think you might want a Champions League. Do I think you'd be on for a 5-peat? No. Do I think you would have done a treble? Potentially not. And that's praise for Pep. He's taken a world-class team and he's got them over the line at the same time. And by the way, I've just gone and found the definition of Farmers League. This is what they say it is. A Farmers League is a derogatory term used to describe a league that is not competitive due to a number of factors. Because these factors can include financial disparities, talent being drawn to multiple other leagues, and limited resources for player acquisitions, and a perceived overall lower quality. Now, you could argue, people could go, yeah, well, it ain't competitive because City win it all. Doesn't mean, you've literally had Arsenal and Liverpool pushing them close, like in most of those seasons. So there's competitiveness there. There's been multiple winners of League Cups and FA Cups in that time. There's been multiple winners of European trophies from England at that same time. And let's not pretend that we lose all of our talent to multiple other leagues and that we don't have money. And there is not a financial disparity between City and everybody else. There is loads of clubs that are in the top. The Premier League has the most teams inside the top 10 and top 15 richest clubs in European football. So honestly, stop with this. It's such. I know people want to stick it to Man City. I know people want to rip it into Man City. I get that, right? But do better. Slagging off our league and lying about it, that ain't the way, bruv. That's not it, Chief. Find a better way to criticize instead of actually dragging your own club down at the same time. It's very weird to me. Very weird behavior.
Terry, the comment that you brought to the screen, that was a United fan. And another thing is, with regards to mentioning Farmers League, during City's run, we actually aren't poaching some of the strongest talent from our ops, and obviously weakening them and strengthening us. And I would argue that United's, at United's height, they had that advantage. They had the opportunity to go and take some of the stronger players from other clubs and make sure that they remain dominant. So stop with this Farmers League talk, guys. It's stale.
This is the thing about it. Someone says that absolute rubbish, Terry. Can Southampton compete? That isn't the claim. Of course, there is no league in the world where every single team, and I'm talking European football here, where every single team has the same financial power as the next. That doesn't exist in any capacity in European football. When we're saying competitive nature, so many of our clubs have multi-billionaire owners. The reason why Man United are where we are isn't because of money, it's because of how poorly run we are. There's a reason that pound for pound, Brighton are better than we are. Nottingham Forest are better than we are. Brentford are better than we are. And in fact, they're looking like they're going to finish higher than us in the league as of right now. The only thing that really in the last 5, 6, 7 years has kept us above those teams is the money that we have. Okay. But there's loads of teams with lots of money in the Premier League. So, of course, we're not saying it's completely competitive in terms of winning the league from first place to 20th place. Nobody's making that claim. But the idea this is that this league is consistently a one horse race and nobody else has the resource to compete with City is not true
It's
in
bullshit,
any
bro.
capacity. It's just not true.
No, Nottingham Forest have more money than a lot of other teams as well.
No, examples. Absolutely. Again, someone says, is Scotland a farmers league? I wouldn't even call Scotland a farm. Scotland is in the sense of it's literally between two teams that always win the league title. But equally, their best teams in their league are bang average in Europe, right? So I would look at the Scottish league. If you called that a farmers league, I wouldn't ever use that term, but that would be a league I would say. I actually think the French league, there's been a few other sides like Marseille looking quite good at the moment. There's a few teams that have stepped up. But for many years, other than PSG, the rest of it was pretty simplistic. I wouldn't classify La Liga, Serie A, or the German league as farmers leagues. I don't like the disrespect that, again, some English fans put on those leagues. Fair enough. You've got one team, the one that you maybe could look at in that way, the way Bayern Munich, the way the German structure is.
Yeah, a couple of years back, yeah.
They always seem to, they win it a lot and they have a much more competitive angle than everybody else. But that's also to do with the way that their club ownership is done. See, you can't have a team that suddenly gets an owner that comes in who can pump money into it and grow them. So their system, so I can take the argument in Germany. However, when you speak about competitiveness, look how good the Dortmunds, look how good the Leverkusens, look how good multiple German teams, look how good Stuttgart are right now, have been in Europe, again, over the last 10, 15, 20 years. So it isn't just about how they perform internally in their league, it's how good those teams are outside of it. So for me, I wouldn't put German league, especially not right now, into that category either. This is KJ that wrote this. He says competitive also stems amongst the elite leagues. Look at the race for Europe and relegation battles. It normally goes down to the final day. That's competitive. Absolutely right. Absolutely right.